Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day, afternoon, or evening it may be, wherever you are in the world as I'm posting this. I'm setting the intention for a message for August 7th, but again, depending on where you are in the world, the 7th may have already come and gone, or you may see this video in the next few weeks or days. So we're just setting an intention that this message find you and be a message for you for the next 24 hours whenever you happen to see it. I want to say happy birthday to all the August 7th babies out there. We're going to see what messages are coming up here for the collective and see what our card of the day is here. Ooh, we have Knight of Wands. We'll move you all just a little bit closer. Now, a lot of people are used to watching tarot for love and romance. And so for that reason, some of the tarot cards get immediately typecast, which isn't fair because even in a love reading, it could mean several things, even if we are looking at love, but just over time, certain cards have gotten just labeled as like one meaning, even though there's layers and the reader has to connect with the energy and the other cards and what we're asking about to figure out what the card means in that reading. But traditionally, a lot of people would take the court cards having to do with a person coming into a situation or someone having these characteristics or qualities. So this could be a fire sign person or someone who is fire sign, if not their sun sign, their moon, their rising, their Venus. And so fire signs would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. The Knight of Wands is a really, really powerful card for me in my readings. Sometimes it could be someone who comes in and out of our life. If you're dealing with someone who has a tendency to come in and out of your life, and if they're resurfacing again, Knight of Wands is just letting you know this is the same old song and dance. This isn't something that's going to change. They're going to do what they've done the last 87 times, if you're in that kind of a situation. And that's the way the Knight of Wands gets typecast a lot of times in tarot. But there's so much more meaning here with the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands can sometimes come up when something is being sped up. Now, yesterday's message was interesting because we talked about how a lot of you maybe had some unnecessary worry right now. Like just things were taking too long. Things weren't moving forward. Things were just kind of taking forever. And now we have the Knight of Wands. For some of you, you can be experiencing a sudden development that's going to require for you to make a decision. Okay? The Knight of Wands can be a sudden development that requires us to take action, that is speeding things up or getting things moving. Knight of Wands can also sometimes be an ultimatum. So maybe you've made a decision about what you want in a situation and you've decided that you're not willing to compromise, right? Like you've made up your mind and you're like, you know what? This is what I want and I'm really all or nothing about it. And if it's not going to go the way that I want it to be, or if this person's not going to agree to the terms that I'm setting before them, then I don't want it, right? And so maybe you're the one that you're preparing to go to somebody and you're getting ready to tell them, look, this is what I have in mind, but this is how it has to be. Are you in or are you out kind of situation? Or maybe some of you are having somebody present you an offer. The thing about it, though, when it's the Knight of Wands energy, you're not going to have a long time to decide. This isn't something where somebody's going to tell you, all right, take all the time you need. I'm here whenever you decide. Like, this is something that has an expiration date. This is something that has a deadline. You're either on board or you're going to let the ship sail. That ship has a set day and time it's going to sail, and either you're going to be on it or it's going to be gone. So that can be really scary when you're like, well, it could be a big decision. It's exciting. I kind of want it, but I don't have a lot of time to decide. So this is the thing, right? Nothing's going to change until we do something different, right? If we do everything the same old way, we get the same old result. At the same time, we don't want to just willy-nilly do irresponsible or dangerous things. But the Knight of Wands can sometimes come up to say, even though we don't have a really long time to decide, we can still make a good decision by doing research, by weighing the pros and cons, by asking questions, by getting information, by talking about things and communicating and making sure that we're on the same page moving forward so we don't have miscommunications later. Right? So a lot of it just comes down to doing your research, asking questions, communicating, weighing the pros and cons. And even though you might not have weeks or months to decide, you can still make a very well thought out decision. You can still make a responsible decision, even if you don't have a lot of time to turn this over mentally. So some of you may be presented with something and you're having to make a decision. There could be something here in terms of an ultimatum, okay? So if you're the one where this person is presenting an ultimatum to you, they're saying, look, I have a great idea, but this is how it has to be. And this can be any kind of an offer. It could be something in terms of a business prospect or a creative collaboration. It could be a living arrangement. It could be a relationship. It could be a proposal for some of you. It could be in any area of your life. This is a general reading. You guys aren't going to experience it in the same exact area of your life. But this person may be coming to you. It could be a job offer, but it might be presented to you with some kind of an ultimatum. And you might be tempted to say, well, I don't know. This person seems like they're awfully in a hurry. They're coming at me with this really unexpectedly. Like maybe they're in a desperate situation. Maybe I can get more out of the situation, or maybe I can kind of push them on their boundary here. When the Knight of Wands is here, it's telling us no. It's not going to work that way. So if you push back a lot, or if you push the limit too much, then whatever was being offered isn't going to be offered anymore, right? It's kind of like, oh, okay, well, if that's how you feel about it, never mind. Offer rescinded, right? So we don't want to push it too much. We don't want to test the limit too much. If you're the one giving the ultimatum, okay, I would just say this. Think really hard before presenting whoever you're presenting this with. Think really hard about what your deal breakers are, and make sure that it's something that you're going to stick to, right? That if you're giving this ultimatum, you're going to stick to the ultimatum. Because the last thing you want to do is tell somebody, well, these are the terms and the conditions. This is what I'm offering you. This is what you get out of it. This is how it's beneficial for you. But here's what your responsibility is, or here's where your expectation is. You don't want to later on go, oh, well, but I don't want to upset this person, or I don't want to, I don't want to rock the boat. And you don't want to start to later on backtrack and let things slide, because then you find yourself in a situation where you're dealing with a relationship or a partnership with somebody that you feel starts to take advantage, and you get upset and you go off and you throw a fit, and you just like, they just push you to the limit, and they're like, okay, I'm sorry, and they get on board, and they tighten up, and they start behaving again, and then little by little they start sliding back into the old behaviors. If you're someone that you've had that experience, this is how you can break that cycle. This is how you can nip that in the bud. When you're going into a situation, know what your deal breakers are and like uphold that. Don't let things slide. So if you're going to someone with a non-negotiable, if you're going to someone with an ultimatum, you have to enforce that. Otherwise, you're going to end up with people that they're going to always be testing your limits, and you're going to be doing that really annoying song and dance where you get upset and you go off, and then they're like, okay, I'm sorry. And they're, being good for a little bit. Then they go back into the behaviors that are driving you crazy again. And it's not fun, right? And most of us are adults here. These videos are intended for 18 and older, and my demographic seems to be more like mid-20s and up. So most of us are adults here, and we're in a place in our life where we don't need to be doing that annoying, back and forth. So there could be some kind of a development happening within the next 24 hours, and it's something that a decision you're going to have to choose what action you're going to take and what direction you're going to go in. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, this is more of an energetic thing. I'm getting a really strong Six of Wands vibe from this card. So there could be something here tied to it for some of you where there's an opportunity for advancement. Like whatever this is, it's something that would give you an opportunity to improve the quality of your life. And more importantly than that, like something that like your heart is in terms of passion, like something that you're passionate about, something you're excited about, something that you have ambition for, something that you have feeling for, just that sense of fire or zeal. But keep in mind, Six of Wands follows the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is the struggle and the competition. So if you are being presented with something and you're taking a long time to decide, you might be the sixth wand, but there's five more closely behind you. So I feel like if you don't get on the ship, it's not going to be a hard seat to fill. In other words, so I feel like this is an opportunity that's not going to be reserved for very long. And it could just be that it's just the nature of what it is, and it's the timing of how it is. It may not be like a power trip or a power struggle. It's just kind of like this is the timing, this is how it's going, and if you're meant to come along, you're going to come along, and if you're not going to come along, well, then I have to keep the door open for whatever is going to come along. So I do feel like there's something here where maybe you're beating out the competition, but it doesn't mean that you can get like this big head or think that you can't be replaced. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but I can't. I'm not saying it to be harsh. I'm just being real. You guys know that I try not to sugarcoat things, and I try to be honest. So just know this. This might be a really big opportunity. You might be flattered and you deserve it, right? You're worthy of it. But it's kind of like, if you're not on board, you know, they're not gonna stop the show. They're not gonna stop rolling. They're gonna keep moving. So it's like, are you in or not? Kind of energy here. I thank you all for watching. I'm working on getting better. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more mental focused, like the concussion. It was terrible earlier when I woke up, but I feel like little by little I'm regaining my ability to put words together. And I'm going to have to start, you know, like chiropractic and all that in a little bit here. But I thank you all for your patience, and I'm anticipating that by this coming week, hopefully I can get back to the regular posting schedule. I thank you for receiving the message. I hope you all have a fabulous day ahead, a fabulous weekend, and I hope to be back on with another message for the next 24 hours after this period. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and be well.